One of my personal favorite parts of spring training are the live bullpen sessions because you have an opportunity to see a lot in a very condensed amount of time. Typically, over the course of the live bullpens, you'll see a team's best pitcher going against best hitter. You'll see a lot of pitching prospects. And that's some of what we've been able to see over the first 3 days of the Giants' full squad workouts. Of course, we talked about how in the first day, Willy Adames hit the homer off Sean Jelly, kind of setting the tone for the full squad workouts. But little did we know that was kind of just setting the tone for these first 3 days in particular, because on Tuesday, Willy Adames hit 2 homers off Logan Webb. Webb kind of joked after the fact that had been about 8 homers that Adames had now hit off him if you're considering real regular season games, spring training games, and now live bullpens. I think if you look at the math, it's actually closer to 6, but who's counting? And while Adames has the quantity of homers, I don't believe anyone's hit more than 3 homers over the course of these 3 days. Heliot Ramos might have the quality factor going for him, because in his very first at-bat against Justin Verlander today, he sent a 4-seam fastball off. I don't know if you could see it, off that pole right there, and it somehow ricocheted off of the scoreboard. None of us really had a video of it actually hitting that, but I do have the video itself. And just about everybody in attendance knew it was a homer off the bat. Verlander himself knew it was a homer off the bat, especially if you go look at the video and just listen to the 4-letter expletive he said immediately upon Ramos's bat making contact with the ball. And after the workouts, I saw Ramos in the clubhouse, and I just asked him really quick if he took any satisfaction over the fact that he hit a home run off of a future Hall of Famer, and he replied, who wouldn't? But despite the fact that Verlander allowed what was arguably the loudest homer over these first 3 days of the full squad workouts, he looked really good in his live bullpen session. We don't have velocity or spin rate or an exact breakdown of the pitches that he threw over the course of his bullpen session, but he was able to generate a fair amount of swing and miss. He was able to elevate the heater. He was able to throw some breaking balls down and away. And for those of you who either read my articles or have seen some of the video breakdowns that I've done, you know that I like to fall back on the raw data itself. But that being said, if we're just going purely off the eye test, the eye test said that Verlander still has a good amount of juice left in the tank. And speaking of the eye test, one of the guys who really impressed in live bullpens today and has just impressed over the course of live bullpens in general is Joel Peguero. Peguero is a 27-year-old reliever. He signed with the Tampa Bay Rays in, I want to say, 2018, made his professional debut in 2019, and he's bounced around 4 different minor league organizations over the last couple of years, has yet to make his major league debut. But when we asked Melvin early on in spring training if there was anybody in particular who caught his attention, he mentioned Peguero simply because of the fact that he was throwing 101 miles per hour in one of his early bullpen sessions. And whenever someone's hitting triple digits in February, you do want to pay attention. So when Peguero was scheduled to throw a live bullpen session today over here on Field 1, I wanted to ensure that I had a seat, and I wanted to see how the stuff played up and close, because when you look at the bullpens over there, you can see the pitchers throw, but there's the way that things are positioned, you can't see how they're received in the glove. So it's kind of an inhibited view of guys throwing their bullpen sessions. And again, strictly from an eye test perspective, Peguero did impress. It definitely did look like he was throwing 101, 102 miles per hour. And I tweeted out a couple of videos of Peguero going up against Adames. In particular, Adames had the opportunity to face him twice. In the first at-bat, Peguero blew a fastball by Adames over the top of the zone. And then in the second at-bat, Peguero not only blew another fastball by him at the top of the zone, but also, I want to say it was a slider down and away that induced more of a flail than an actual swing. And considering that Adames is arguably the hottest guy in camp, it was an impressive display. And when I talked with Adames in the clubhouse after the workout, he said what everybody in attendance was thinking: it's gas. We've still got a couple more days here before games start for the Giants. They play their first game on Saturday in Surprise against the Texas Rangers. That means we're going to get 2 more days of live bullpens and just work that's leading up to those games. And given some of the fireworks that we've seen in these first couple days, I'm going to be very curious to see if anybody else has anything more in store.